70% of Americans are feeling financially stressed, whether that's about their debt, the lack of savings, or the low amount of income they're bringing in. And some people are stressed no matter how much money they actually have. In this video, I'm going to share the reasons why this is happening and what you can do about it. The reason why so many people are stressed about money is because how we feel about money is actually dependent on internal nervous system level programming. It's like automatic, subconscious thoughts, beliefs, and emotions about all kinds of different things related to money. And this shows up as patterns or cycles that you fall into that directly affect your financial situation and how you feel about it. We all know people who work day and night and have not a lot to show for it. They barely can take their family on a vacation every couple of years. Or people that really seem to have a lot of success, but for some reason something happens and they always end up losing it. Or some people save and save and save and actually have a lot of money, but they're constantly stressed about how expensive things are or worried that they could lose it at any minute. For me personally, I grew up with very frugal parents. We had just enough for everything that we needed, but we never did anything extravagant. We never wasted money, and we were on a very tight, strict budget. The impression I got is that you had to work really hard for your money, and you had to hold on tight to it because it could be gone very easily. And you definitely didn't want anyone to take it from you. So because that was the way that I was raised, that definitely affected all of my beliefs about money, about success, about saving, about spending, and it directly affected all of the decisions I've made my entire life until I realized that we have this thing called the earliest money paradigm. So your income and your financial success or financial struggles are absolutely dependent on something called your earliest money paradigm. This is a very early in your life programming that is set by everything that you saw, witnessed, heard, observed about things related to money, things related to spending, things related to success, things related to taking time off and enjoying yourself. So this early money paradigm literally sets the limit to how much money you're going to have, how much success you're going to have, how much joy you're going to have doing it. It's like a thermostat in your house. So if you set the temperature at 74 degrees Fahrenheit, your house will never be warmer than 74 degrees. Or the way that this actually shows up in real life is that you have this thermostat, this earliest money paradigm that has set the limit, and you will not go above it. So you will work and work and work and work, and you will never break through this invisible ceiling that you want so desperately to get through. Or you might get through it and past it, but something happens that drags you back and you end up in the same financial situation that you started in. So some people think the solution is, well, you just have to try harder. You just have to work harder. You just have to do more. But you will never break through this paradigm by doing. If that was the case, then everyone you know who works really hard would have that financial freedom that we all dream about. And we know that's not the case. What you think and your beliefs around money is actually what needs to change. If you just focus on the doing, it's kind of like trying to grow a garden and you just keep planting seeds, but you never address the weed problem. Or maybe you pick off the leaves of the weeds at the top, but you never get to the root. So it just keeps growing back quickly and the weeds quickly take over your garden. That's exactly what's happening when you just focus on doing, working harder, and not getting to the root, which is your thoughts and your beliefs and your emotions around money and success and working hard. So like I said, this is basic nervous system level programming. And so to identify what your programming is, you just need to start to get very curious about what are your thoughts about money and your beliefs. And the way you do that is you just think, okay, what is my automatic first thought when it comes to spending? What's my first thought when it comes to my debt? What's my first thought when it comes to how much money I have, how much money I am capable of earning, what's possible for me? And whatever those answers are will point you to what your programming is. Another thing to think about is, what were those phrases you remember your parents always saying? How did they feel about people who made more money than you? How did they feel about how hard you have to work? How did they feel about when your deserving of taking a vacation. And then once you're able to identify what some of this programming is, what your beliefs are, then what you need to do is start looking at all the ways that you reinforce this programming. What are your behaviors typically when it comes to money? How do you feel about spending money on other people? How do you feel about saving money? How do you feel about going out to really nice, luxurious, or extravagant resorts or restaurants? How do you feel about people that buy really nice cars? When you try to make money, say you're an entrepreneur and you do a launch and it doesn't go well, do you get frustrated and then just get right back to the grind and work and push through and work harder and do more? Or do you pause and evaluate from a neutral place to see, well, what could I be doing differently? What worked? What didn't work? What can I do differently? And as you really start to notice your behavior, you will see how you are reinforcing that old programming. It's like a vicious cycle until you interrupt it. Notice, do you feel shame or fear when you think about money, when you think about debt, when you think about spending? What are those emotions that come up? That will also help point to what your programming is. You may think that, oh, well, I feel shame because I racked up so much debt, so of course I feel that way. But I want to just challenge you that the reason why you have the debt is because you were programmed to have the debt. So in a way, it feels a little bit like, what? I'm not in control. But no, it's actually the opposite. Because you were programmed, that means you can change your programming and change your future results. So once you're aware of your earliest money paradigm, your nervous system level programming, you're able to break free of it. Once you have that awareness, you start noticing your behaviors. You start pausing and making different decisions, taking a different pathway, telling yourself a different story, and you reinforce new thoughts and new beliefs. And that's how you unravel old programming and start to develop new programming. And by repetition, doing this over and over and over, you start to create new programming, new pathways in your mind-body system, in your nervous system, in your programming. You literally create new neural pathways. So this starts to be automatic. Just like right now, everything you do when it comes to money is been automatic based on your old programming. You can start to unravel that programming, unwire it, and rewire new programming with a new story, with new belief, with new thoughts and new emotions. And that's how you can come from a new empowering belief. So you can go from believing it's hard to make money to I make money with ease and money comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. You can go from I can't afford a vacation to I can book a 10-day luxurious vacation in the resort that I've been dreaming of. You can go from I don't have consistent income to feeling very confident that you will make the money that you need and more. And from the feeling of I don't have enough to I always have more than enough. So what I want you to take away from this video is no matter what your financial situation is, no matter what your stress level is or what you're struggling with, you're not stuck with it. You can change it. Your current reality is based on the past, the way that you were raised. And your current situation is based on your current beliefs. That is based on the way that you were raised and your old programming. Your current reality is based on your current thoughts, emotions, and beliefs about money. And when you start to change those, you start to change your reality. You didn't choose your initial programming, but you can choose to change it. By following the steps that I outlined in this video, you can start to be aware of what your programming is. Notice those old patterns. Start making new decisions and start rewiring a new programming. Remember, your current money reality is based on your beliefs. So if you want to be a money magnet, you need to believe that you're a money magnet and that money flows to you easily. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my videos about money and success and confidence, and I'll see you next time.